Good evening. Today I'm going to be reporting back my information that I gathered from my assignment called Get to Know the Pros. Um, this is when we selected three individuals and we interviewed them and asked them a variety of different questions and just got their feel out from them and their responses. So my first person that I started out with was actually a produce manager that works for Publix. So I asked him how long has he been at the company. He said he's been roughly about 14, coming up on 15 years. And then what type of business structure was it? Well, Publix is a corporation, and I'm not going to say it's a worldwide corporation, but it is getting really big in the southern part of America. And what other departments does he work in? So when asking him that, he explained to me how although he might be a produce manager, he also does manage the floral department, and he also manages what has to do with balloons and blowing them up for customers and whatnot. And what's his educational background? So this is going to be kind of funny. He actually has a biomedical degree, but he decided to pursue a career at Publix. With that being said, to become a manager though in Publix, he explained that you do have to have some sort of AA. And what type of aspects of the business does he enjoy the most? He responded with that he just loves the fact of what Publix stands about and how they like to please the customer and how the customer always comes first. And he just loves how the corporation also treats their employees. And what aspect of business is most challenging? He responded with that how Publix is such a great company that loves to please the customer. Sometimes it's hard to say no, and even when you're supposed to say no, he doesn't want to say it. But how has COVID affected the business? He explained to me that it's affected it. He would say in a good way, because business has been through the roof. The sales have been up, and it's just been a lot of business. It's just been more busier though and really hectic, he says. And how does he stay in his current with his field? So what he does is he goes to meetings and they inform him about new things that are going on with the company and his department. Moving on, I also interviewed actually a personal trainer at a local gym called Crunch here. It's right up the street and it's on Hillsborough. So I asked him how long has he been with the company. He said he's actually been with the company for about 2 years, but he's been a personal trainer for about 5. And then what type of company structure was Crunch? So this one, he actually told me that it's a LLC, which means limited liability company. He explained to me that the reason why Crunch is a LLC is because it's most common for gyms to have it because it's fast, simple, and inexpensive and easy to maintain. Moving on, I asked him what other departments does he work in. Well, he's a personal trainer, so besides working with the customers, he doesn't really do that much. Now we'll get it. He cleans more because of COVID. And what other jobs has he had? Well, he's had other jobs as a personal trainer at other gyms, and he went on to explain to me that prior to becoming a personal trainer, he was actually working in construction. And what educational background he has? He has a AA and he has his PT certificate, which is personal trainer. And what aspects of the business does he enjoy the most? He explained to me that he wants to become a personal trainer to help people accomplish their goals, and he just wanted to be that person that motivates them and helps them every day. And what aspect of the business is the most challenging for him? He responded to me that sometimes there's just a lot of people that he has to deal with, and trying to remember all their goals is just it can be too much. But he said that he does things where it's easy for him to remember how to stay on track with every individual. He makes notes for them, he texts them, and he just makes sure that they're accomplishing their goal every day. And how has COVID affected the business of Crunch? Well, it actually closed it down. Because it's a gym. So but they're back open now. And how does he stay current with his current? How does he stay current with his field? Well, he just talks to other personal trainers, and he goes to other gyms. He goes to supply shops, like protein shops, stuff like that, to see what's new and what's coming out, to see what he can provide for his customers. My last individual that I spoke with was that it was my uncle. And my uncle is actually a chef. So he works for Whole Foods. So I've asked him how long has he been with the company. He said maybe 11 years. And then I asked him what type of business structure was it. He told me that it was just a corporation, but Amazon recently bought Whole Foods. And his role there is actually a chef, like I stated. The departments that he works in, although he might be a chef, he does help out around the store, making sure all the food is prepped and ready for the customers. And I asked him what other jobs he has had. The other jobs that he has also had has been prior to Whole Foods, has been other places where they serve food, such as Cheesecake Factory, such as other restaurants, smaller restaurants in different places not here in Florida. And I asked him what educational background does he have. Well, he has a certificate as being a chef, so he has that labeled as him. And then I asked him what aspect of the business does he enjoy most about being a chef. And he explained to me that it's really about pleasing the customer and seeing them love your food and just seeing them savor your food every time they taste something new when he gives it to them. And he said one thing that can be challenging about the chef business is just the hours. Sometimes he has to work a lot of hours and he has to put in a lot of overtime, but he said he's used to it now. He's been doing it for a lot of time. And COVID actually, he said it did and it didn't affect their business, because although they were still selling the hot bar that he does sell, that Whole Foods does sell and he's in charge of, was closed down and is still currently closed down because of COVID. And he stays current in his field by just going to meetings for Whole Foods, seeing what's going on, what new platters are going to be on the menu for the customers. And yeah, those are the 3 people that I interviewed today. And that was a Publix produce manager, a Crunch personal trainer, and my uncle, which was a chef. Thank you very much, and have a good day. Thank you.